All right, so in our original tour video, you saw a little bit of this bathroom, but in this video, we're going deeper into it. Some of the design decisions, but also, some of the layout and things like that, and some of the materials that we've used as well. So let's start with what this bathroom used to be like. So this door was actually over here. And I think we talked about that in other videos as well, but one of the biggest changes that we made is changing this door and putting it over here. And what that afforded us was more counter space. Because when you walked in this bathroom before, the first thing that you'd encounter was this closet wall, basically. And the closet was there for a reason. It housed some of the mechanicals of this house, the pressure tank and the hot water heater. And that was like the biggest annoying thing, because you would walk in and you would be immediately, you would like walk into a wall, basically, which was this closet. And the shower used to be over to the right, and there used to be a vanity over here. And right above the vanity used to be a larger window, and this small window used to be over there. Because, this closet was sticking out so much that they didn't really have space for a larger window. So one of the first things that we did was actually change the location of that door, which gave us more counter space for things like a washer and dryer and just like storage, which it's very hard to do in a smaller house. And the other big thing that we wanted to do is make sure that we don't have this closet in here, because that was one of the things that made this bathroom an awkward L shape, and it made it feel very small, like a hallway. But that was very difficult because we had the mechanicals in there. We had our hot water heater, which you need, and a pressure tank. So we were able to actually downsize that closet quite a bit into the closet that you see right here. So this now only has our hot water heater in it. The pressure tank that comes with this is actually in another building that has the plumbing connected to this building. Both buildings share the same well, so you can pressurize all your lines from anywhere really in the plumbing system.
And we learned about that through the plumber, because the original plumber who plumbed this building is still around and was able to give us that information.
So we were working with the original plumber who helped build this house or this office, and he actually suggested, he had an epiphany, like, oh, we could put it in the barn, because we were thinking of stacking these tanks, and it would just be really cramped in there. And even right now, this closet is just big enough to house the hot water heater. It's actually insulated so that you don't hear the sound when the hot water heater kicks on, and it also helps keep the heat that the hot water generates in that closet.
And you mentioned that we changed where the vanity was.
Yeah, so one of the biggest changes was probably the vanity. This building was a very simple layout. All the plumbing basically runs through here in a straight line. You can see there's a shower, drain is lined up with the toilet here, and it's all underneath the concrete slab because that's just how they did it. And the vanity was here. So one of the biggest changes we made was putting the vanity over here. And the reason why we had to do that was because we wanted to increase the size of the shower. The shower was just a small claustrophobic square, and it was just like the entrance was right there, where we were planning to put most of our storage. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to change the entrance to here, but the problem would be that now the vanity is in the way. So that's why we had to change the vanity to over there. So what that required is actually cutting a groove right in the concrete slab here, digging out some of the stone, and actually running a drainage line, like a plumbing line, down underneath the concrete and connecting it to where the toilet is.
And you mentioned that we tried to not change as much of the plumbing as possible in this house because that's where the increase in price really comes from, and the increase in labor.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, imagine having to cut open a concrete slab and having to close it back up. It's just a lot of work. But it afforded us so many benefits. Like, we could make the shower bigger, we could change the shower entrance. We have better light for this vanity. When you're standing behind the vanity, what you're getting is you're getting a lot of light from the side, which is helpful because it allows you to see more depth. And you have a little bit of light coming from behind, which adds, like, you know, just like in film, when you're lighting things, you add a little bit of rim light. And then here you have lights for, you know, to light up the front of your face. So it's just really helpful to have this here, and it's a perfect location for it, honestly. So that's kind of how we reconfigured we had lots of different layouts in our head. At some point we were thinking of putting the shower here, and then, I don't know, but then that would require so much changes in plumbing. So eventually we just try to settle for the least amount of changes in plumbing, but, you know, still get some of our benefits.
I mean, you learned a lot from pouring the concrete to the waterproofing and tiling and everything.
Yeah, well, that's a whole separate story. Building the shower itself is like a whole different thing.
Yeah, and we have a video actually more.
There's a video that goes more into depth on that one. But another thing I want to highlight is that we changed the windows. So on this side of the house, there's a road, and on this side of the house, there's like a garden. So it didn't make sense to me to have the small window facing the garden, which is what you want to see, and the large window opening up to the road, which you don't want to see, you want to have privacy from. So one of the things that we still need to do is actually add a film on this bottom pane of glass to be able to make sure that you can't look in from the outside. Now that the window is smaller, we can also fit it inside the shower, which adds just so much natural light to it. And you know, the shower curtain kind of acts as a light filter here too, to filter and make some of that light really soft. And it's just really nice waking up in the morning and getting into a shower that has natural light, because it allows you to wake up and not be in like a closed off room.
And I just think it's pretty amazing. I mean, the like as Sandra was saying, this space felt smaller than it was because of the closet space. But after we removed that, this is actually quite a sizable bathroom space, and it's pretty amazing that you could actually fit like a full washer dryer in here as well, which is just such a luxury to have in a small house.
And now that the window is there, the large window, you have a lot of light just coming in, and it just worked out where when we opened up the walls, they actually had framed this wall for a large window, which was funny. So, you know, all the structure was properly done. They just blocked it in to be able to fit a small window, but that was easy for us. We just knocked out the blocking, and then we're able to put the larger window in. And I think it turned out beautiful. It just fits. Like, if there was an inch less space in that closet, that water heater would not have fit. So it's really funny how like it's perfectly designed. And I made sure that if we have to get another water heater, that it would fit in there too. So it's kind of like a common size. So other than that, like, what else do you want to talk about?
I think that's a pretty good overview of the bathroom, and if you want to see more specifics on using the tadelakt and the lime and the microcement, we'll link to that video as well.
We'll be sharing more about our building design and renovation here at Flock, particularly as we get started on our next structure. Thanks for all of your support and to the folks who subscribe and even tip the channel. 10% of our Google AdSense revenue is actually reinvested into community projects here in the Finger Lakes, and that's matched by our partners over at Espoma Organic. So your support really does go a long way. Thank you again for taking the time, and we'll see you in the next video.